Well, don't you just love baseball? Blue Jays fall 7-0 to the Houston Astros, and they drop to 12-11 on the year. There's really not much we can say this game that we haven't said previous games. Early on, you had a pitching duel going on, Hunter Brown versus Kevin Gausman. They kept it deadlocked 0-0, headed into the fifth inning, and in the bottom of the fifth, Kevin Gausman's the first one to falter. He gets Diaz to strike out looking before Cam Smith singles to right. Brendan Rodgers singles to right, moving Smith up to second, and then DeZenzo doubles to right. Smith scores and Rodgers moves up to third, so it's 1-0 Houston, the bottom of the order doing the damage there for them. Jose Altuve doubles to left, DeZenzo scores, Rodgers scores, making it 3-0. Alvarez is then intentionally walked, trying to get a double play forced, and unfortunately, Isaac Paredes, who's a pretty much exclusively pull hitter, very pull heavy, takes a pitch that's high and outside and somehow fights it off like Bo Bichette style and puts it through the second base side and scores Altuve and moves up Alvarez to second. So that was a real backbreaker there because you were hoping to keep it at 3-0. You make a good pitch in a 0-2 count and he just manages to fight it off and make it 4-0. 4-0 with this offense, the way it's currently looking, is pretty much game, set, match. There's nothing that I've seen so far this year that would indicate we can come back from this sort of thing, and that's a shame because the pitching, by and large, has been so good, and it's just not fair to them to have zero chance in a game when as soon as you give up 3 or 4 runs, in the fifth inning. It shouldn't feel that way, but that's the way it's been so far. And you know what? That's what we love about baseball sometimes, is that things change quickly. And about, a few days ago, we were riding pretty high. I think we were 4 games above 500. Now we're on the verge of falling back to 500 with one more loss. And the vibes have completely shifted. And the main culprit is the home run ball. We are now, I believe it's 29th in baseball in home runs. And that's the part of the offense that we just keep saying has to click, has to click, has to click. And unfortunately, the timeline ends up just getting polluted with, swing decisions, bat speeds, all these sorts of analytics that people try to throw out for the reasons why. But really what it comes down to is our home run hitters aren't hitting home runs. We've got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., we've got Anthony Santander, we've got Bo Bichette, who should at least be hitting some, we've got George Springer, who should be running into the occasional ball, and right now, nobody is doing it. Not a single person. There's nobody you can rely on for power right now in this lineup, even the guys who are paid to do so. And when things are going rough, when you're losing games, that gets highlighted. Where is Vladdy Guerrero Jr.? Where is Anthony Santander? Where is the offense? And it's game after game, night after night, we're having the same conversations, and we're just unable to fix anything. And it's been, 3 seasons now of just steady decline in the home run ball specifically. Popkins came in, was supposed to correct some of this stuff. So far, it's been even worse than last year somehow, which is just unbelievable. I thought, maybe it was the cold weather at the start, just not fun hitting conditions, but now it's moved on to the Dome, it's moved on to Houston, and enough is enough. They've got to address this. They're not going to lead the league in home runs. We knew that offense wasn't built like that, but they've got to be league average. They've got to be somewhere in the middle of the pack. You have to run into occasional long balls. And I know the score ended up 7-0, and you might say, well, they were never going to put up 7 anyways. But the offense has to earn the right to get your good relievers into the game. They have to earn the right for Jimmy Garcia to be out there and for Jeff Hoffman to be out there. So when they're not competitive and when the management thinks the game is pretty much over, they are going to go to Josh Walker after Kevin Gausman. You're down 4-0. Your offense is showing no sign of life. You got 2 hits. Hunter Brown absolutely carved you up, and then the bullpen finished you off. And that was, I believe, Forrest Whitley. Good pitching by him as well. But they're just not competitive. So, yeah, when you're down 4-0, why burn, your Jimmy Garcias, your Chad Greens, your Jeff Hoffmans? Why burn anybody trying to come back? Because you guys are swinging noodle bats out there, and it's just so evident to everybody that there's a 0% chance that they're coming back in these games when they fall down like this. Super frustrating stuff. We don't give up on the team. We don't jump, off the bandwagon. We don't say the season's over. They're still 12-11. This was a tough stretch of the schedule. If you look at the stats for this team, you see who we played. you see the lack of home runs, and you still told me we were 12 and 11 on the year. It is still a net positive, but they've got to figure it out soon. It's, they're running out of time. We're 23 games in now. You need to at least start showing some signs of life with the bats. And I might be delusional, but I still think it will come. I still think Anthony Santander will get up to around his 30 home runs. I still think Vladdy will hit his 30 home runs. I still think, Dalton Varsho, Bo Bichette, George Springer, some of these guys will hit, upper teens to 20 home runs. I think that the homer ball will come, but right now it is just, it's tough viewing, is basically as simple as I can wrap it up. It's tough viewing. And yeah, we need it to change now, because it's no longer, the "it's early" quotes. It's not that early anymore, and it's time to start getting going. Anyways, I'll do a quick recap of the box score here. We only mustered 2 hits, so there's not much to say about it. We struck out 11 times, which isn't terrible. It felt like we struck out about, 27 times at some points with Brown on the mound there. He's still hitting 99 miles an hour in his 7th inning pitch. It was pretty crazy. He's got a great arm. Not much you can say about that, but you got to be more competitive. Something I highlighted on Twitter as well was our last time through the order there against Whitley. Bo Bichette comes up, just gets slurve, 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 sinker. Vladdy comes up, about a 6-pitch at bat, I think. Every single pitch, same velocity, same pitch, sinker. And they're not even feeling the need to mix it up to our best bats right now. That's how feeble they look at the dish in terms of being power threats, is that they're getting 5 or 6 of the same pitch in a row. And some of them are fairly middle, like not dead cut center, but they're catching a decent bit of plate. And we're just no threat to do anything. Like, you can show the guys the same pitch 6 times, and they're not going to time it. They're not going to do damage on it. So, anyways, that's where I'll leave off today. Just not a good game. Nothing really positive to say about this other than Kevin Gausman had, a few dominant innings at the start of the game, and 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs isn't great, but he shouldn't feel like he's blown the game letting up 4 runs when this has basically been his worst start of the year. It's not fair on the pitching. That's where we'll leave off. Drop any comments you have below. How you guys feeling? We'll talk to you later, all right?